Mara, how you doing?
Hi, Phil. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So you are an astrologer, right?
I am a coach and an astrologer. Yes.
There we go. Okay, cool. Uh, I am naive to astrology. I mean, I understand, like you hop in the newspaper, read your horoscope, and then go about your day. But I know there's a lot deeper stuff into it, right?
Mhm.
So walk me through, as a layman, of what astrology is.
So, astrology is it's a way that you can find out about yourself, about relationships, about what's going on in your life, about what might go on in your life. It can be a planning tool. It can be a lot of different things. And most people just focus on the sun. Because you think about your sign, that's where the sun was when you were born. But there's so much more than just the sun. There's the moon and all the planets, and you still include Pluto, and some people include some of the asteroids. And then there's where is the horizon when you were born. And that has to do with something called the ascendant. And that makes things called houses. And those also tell about different parts of your life. So the first house will tell about yourself and your body and your appearance. And the second house will tell about how you deal with money and your resources and your values. And the third house will tell about your. Do you want me to go around the houses or should I
Sure,
stop
why
here?
not? Let's go. And then,
Okay,
now,
cool.
but
So,
when you say houses, is that like your sign or is that something different?
good question. That is different.
Okay.
So, the houses, think of it like parts of the sky. So, imagine the sky is divided up into 12 pieces, and each piece tells about a part of your life. And so, if you start the circle, imagine here's a big circle, and you're starting the circle right there. So, that's 12 o'clock, and I guess 9 o'clock. And so, the first piece of the pie is called the first house, and there are
Mhm.
12 pieces. And the first house has a little bit to do with Aries, and it goes
Okay.
around in but it's you can have any sign in any of the houses, but it always goes in order. So the first house has to do with, as I was saying, yourself and your appearance and your body. The second house has to do with how you deal with wealth and prosperity and your values and has a little bit to do with Taurus. First has a little to do with Aries. The third house has to do with communication and your siblings and like education that's more like elementary school and high school, not like college
Okay.
or university. That's more in the ninth house. And the fourth house has a little to do with Cancer. It's like the home and the family, and a little bit having to do with the mom. And the fifth house is like fun and creativity and children and has a little to do with Leo. Sixth house is your health and pets. If you see somebody with a lot of planets in the sixth, they probably have pets or really want pets.
Right.
And seventh house of like
Mhm.
long-term relationships and marriage and partnerships. And then the eighth house is joint resources. It can be sex. It can be like death and taxes. It's going deep. It's
Mhm.
transformation. Ninth house is travel and higher education and also legal things. The 10th house is your career and
Mhm.
your status in the world. The 11th house is your friends, your community, your hopes and dreams. And the last one, the 12th house, is kind of what's behind the scenes. It's a little hidden from you. It's psychology, the subconscious. It's
Okay.
also spirituality.
Okay. So what okay, let me think how to frame it properly. So what is the basis of astrology? How did they discover that that the planets can affect you as a human being? Like how did that I know astrology is thousands upon thousands of years old. So and even the Vatican has a what are they called? Observatory. So it's like where who was like was it in India that it kind of generated from, or was it someplace else? I guess what I'm trying to ask in a long way without sound like a complete idiot is what's the origins of it? Like, was there a particular place that it started, or did it come from like, or was it multiple people convening and talking?
So, well, there are multiple types of astrology. So,
Hmm.
is Indian Vedic type of astrology.
Okay.
And so that is many thousands of years old. There's also Western, which is what I study, when you
Mhm.
look at horoscopes, they're generally talking about Western astrology and that it goes back to ancient Greece
Okay.
and ancient Egypt. And that's more the Western. And then there's also Chinese astrology, which is again thousands of years and is different yet again. And that's like, okay, what year were you born? You're the horse, you're the monkey. And that is not my area of expertise.
Right.
My
Okay, yeah,
area of
I was
expertise is Western.
okay, yeah, I just wanted I know if there was a blanket for astrology or if it was all the same, but now that you mention it, when they have the different you can tell that, like, the Greek influence on ours in America, for example. What got you into
So I actually started as a skeptic.
Oh, okay.
And when I was a kid, I didn't believe it at all. I thought horoscopes and magazines were way too generic, and sometimes they were right, sometimes they were wrong,
Mhm.
and sometimes multiple ones could be right. So, how could astrology be at all accurate if Virgo sounded like me and Scorpio and Cancer? They can't. If I was born in the season of Virgo, how can three of them sound like me?
Correct.
And then I looked a little deeper and I
Mhm.
saw, oh, it's not just your sun, like we were saying before.
Right.
And if you have a lot of planets in a sign that's not your sun sign,
Mhm.
then maybe your sun sign doesn't feel as much like you. And maybe something else does. So if, say, you were born in, like I was born in Virgo time period, but I
Mhm.
have three planets in Scorpio. So that's why that was feeling like me.
Okay.
So I was thinking I would do a term paper when I was in junior high sometime to
Mhm.
prove astrology wrong. And in trying to prove it wrong and reading all the books and finding out that there's more depth to it, because that's something Scorpios tend, or people with a lot of Scorpio in their chart tend to care about,
Mhm.
is depth and going deep. I realized it does sound like me. It does sound like, and I looked at it for my friends too and my family, it does sound like them when uh, I look at all the information. And then sometimes, because when you're in junior high, everybody was born either in the same year or 1 year different. I found when I got the year wrong, it wasn't as accurate as if I got the year right. If I got the time wrong, it wasn't as accurate as if I got the time right. So, like, let's say somebody thought they were born at 7:30 a.m., but they were actually born at 7:30 p.m.
Mhm.
It's going to be a different chart.
Okay.
And most of the things will be the same, but everything will change to different houses. And the moon, which has to do with your emotions, that might change. So things will show up in different areas of your life instead of if it's in
Right.
a different house.
Okay. So let's ask a little bit of a different question here. So do you think astrology works because of a physical mechanism, or is it a symbolic one, or something else entirely? What do you feel that that might be? I
So I think that it might be something physical that we don't really know exactly what it is because it works whether or not somebody believes in it.
gotcha.
So, like, I've done charts for people who are complete skeptics, and they're like, yes, that sounds like me, but you know me. And I'm like, okay, well, give me the chart of somebody I don't know, and let's see if it sounds like them.
Right. Okay.
I mean, there
Yeah.
is a bit of an art and a science to it because there can be multiple interpretations for different things. So even when we're talking about the different houses, I wasn't just saying one word, I was saying a few.
Mhm.
But then when you see somebody when you see a chart, they'll be the same thing kind of pointing towards something multiple times, and that says, "Hey, this is a really big deal."
So you think it can point out specific I mean, this is just me asking a question. I mean, is it specific behavior that it can point out, or is it just certain traits in a person?
It could be, in theory, both.
Okay. All right. All right. So, with my girlfriend's permission, I have got her birthday and the place and time she was born. So, not to put you on the spot, but let's just let's work a little chart for her if you want to do that.
Yeah, so
All right.
I'm looking down because 'cause I'm looking at my phone and getting actually emailed it to myself, so I can actually look here and get it up in the email, and okay, so I see that as long as the 7:30 a.m. time is accurate, that she has her Venus. First of all, her Venus and her Sun are right on top of each other. And what that means
Mhm.
is that she is beautiful
Mhm.
and will she will always be beautiful. I want to find a way where I can see this and see you at the same time. So give me one moment, please. My apologies.
No worries. We're doing something on the fly here, so it's kinda cool.
That is true. Okay, cool. Now I can see her chart and you, and let's make it just a little bit bigger. Okay. And so she's also at the very, very end of Capricorn, which means on one hand, she has those like hardworking, is can be down to earth. Also has a little bit of that Aquarius feel of being fixed, and because she's something called on the cusp. And that means like when somebody's born around between the 20th and the 22nd, they'll be like right at the very end of one sign or right at the very beginning of another. And that makes you both a lot like the sign that you're in, but also have some traits of the next sign. So anyone born between the 20th and 22nd will have like some of both because they're on the cusp. And your girlfriend has that. So she also has that Aquarius just being fixed. Her ideas are fixed. She really like, and this is as long as the time is accurate
Mhm.
in her first house of herself. So she is what she loves, it's super obvious. And she's not going to hide it. She's just like right front and center with what she loves. So she loves you, you know it.
Yeah. It's true, you do.
And if she like, and she also with Venus in Capricorn, she likes having being appreciated for her work. She likes being shown a little of that, like material things. Like she likes receiving gifts, probably.
Mhm.
And she is who she is. She's going to be front and center with herself. She's not hiding herself in a corner.
No. Definitely not her, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also loves to talk. Like emotionally, she likes to talk things through. And emotionally, she doesn't want just one, she wants multiple ways of doing things emotionally.
Mhm.
And she also probably really enjoys being creative, and she probably likes being around kids because her moon is in the fifth house, which means that the fifth house of creativity and kids. So that's why, and the moon is your emotions. That's what
Mhm.
the moon means in this. So enjoying being around kids, enjoying doing creative things. And like people have different relationships with fun. Some people like it's harder for them. For her, when she's down, doing something fun can really cheer her up in a way that other people maybe not so much. And when she's down, talking about it can really help her because emotionally, and I've never met her. I saw
Yeah.
this chart. You gave it to me.
Mhm.
What was it?
20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh, I was saying earlier, the seventh house has to do with long-term relationships. And so uh, I'm looking at that and I'm seeing that Mars, the planet of action and passion, is there. So she needs a guy. This means you're somebody who probably takes a lot of action
Mhm.
because I'm assuming, like, how long have you guys been together?
2 years.
Okay. So I guess that falls into the seventh house,
Mhm.
depending on the person. So for a long-term relationship, she needs somebody who takes action, somebody where like you guys where there's passion, um, and somebody who's also nurturing. For a long-term relationship, she needs nurture because she has Cancer there, and Cancers like they like to give. If it was on her ascendant, I'd say she'd like to be the one nurturing. On her descendant, which is has to do with relationships, then that's needing nurturing in a partner if you have Cancer there, which she does. Saturn, which is a planet that has to do with career and responsibility, is also in her seventh house of relationships. So she likes to take responsibility in relationships, but she also likes when her partner takes responsibility and works hard.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
It's pretty accurate, actually. She's, she's very loving. She's very attentive. She's, she's a hard worker. So yeah, okay. I can get behind it. So what, thank you for doing that, by the way. I
you're
appreciate it.
welcome. I enjoy it. That's why I do what I do because it's fun. You're good.
Could you explain to me the difference in the compatibilities? Like, how you say, like, I don't really know all the houses, or not the houses, but the signs, but, like they say that an Aquarius should be with this one. How does that work?
Okay. So, yes, it matters, but
Hmm.
other things matter too.
Okay.
Like, you're not just looking at the sun, you're looking at the sun and the moon to see if they interact at all and if they interact in a positive or negative way, because that'll tell you, can you be yourselves around each other? And if you have that sun moon or moon moon or sun interaction, you're yourselves around each other. You also need to look at Venus and Mars for, is there passion? Can we connect on that? Like, is there chemistry? There are other things that also talk about chemistry as well. Like, there are things that you look where it's a little deeper, like certain aspects with Uranus, and well, we're not going to go into that now.
All right.
But
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
things too. But you want to look at the chart to see not just the sun, other planets, see if there's chemistry. You want to look to see if at Saturn to see, is there potential for long term.
Hmm.
You might want to look at like the nodes of fate and destiny, the north and south node, to see, is it something that feels fated? You might want to look at Mercury to see how your communication is. So there's so much to look at. That's not just what sign your sun happens to be in.
So basically, what you're saying is in order to be truthful and being a practitioner of astrology, it can't just be like, I'm going to pop open my horoscope and read it.
Right.
You really have to dive into it, like, full both feet, and truly do your research. And it's not just like something to cool talk about at a party. It's something that's really in depth. You know what I mean? It is, but I mean, some people use it for.
Like, it's not that you can't, but to really understand the relationship. And then there's a whole other level where you put the two charts together
Uh huh.
to see, okay, what happens? You have this person's chart and that person's chart. You want to see how the two people interact, but then you also want to see, what will the relationship look like?
Right. Okay.
And what will it feel like together? What are
Hmm.
you meant to do together when you're, how are other people going to see you? How do you feel with the other person? So there's many different ways to look at it.
Hmm.
So it's not just looking at the
Just
two
one. Yeah,
sun
it's just not
signs.
looking at one or two or even four aspects of it. It's trying to figure out the full, I guess, lack of a better term, the full circumference of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like if you have a website, or like if you're looking at your social media, it's
Mhm.
not like, did you get one heart from this specific person? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, like how many likes have you gotten in total? And like, it's not just one element. There's so many different things.
Right. Okay. So what kind of outcome would make you question the validity of an interpretation?
So I think if there is something where it just, if somebody was describing a person
Mhm.
and it just was like, no, 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 that sounds nothing like them.
Mhm.
And if that happens 9 times out of 10, the data is wrong. Like, you've gotten the wrong place, you've gotten the wrong time, you've gotten the wrong year. Like, there's something that's messed up about the underlying data. Or like maybe somebody put in like a wrong number somewhere.
Okay. So there's usually some sort of misinterpretation or misrepresentation of the data could, and that makes sense because if you're being as specific as date, time, place, all that, you kind of want all the variables to be in the right spot, or it's not going to be dialed in as accurately as it could. So that makes
Yeah,
sense.
like if we didn't know that it was 7:30 a.m.
Mhm.
then I wouldn't be able to tell you the stuff about, like, oh, in a relationship,
Mhm.
she needs to feel nurtured. She needs to, like, have that passion, um, that sort of thing. Or that emotionally, if she's in a dark place, having fun can really bring her out of it. Like, I wouldn't be able to say that because I wouldn't know that it's in the fifth house and the seventh house.
Right. For someone like me, like I've said a hundred times already, I am a skeptic. So what would how would you bring someone like me into it? What would be your check this out kind of thing?
If somebody was really skeptical,
Mhm.
I would say, give me a chart where I do not know the person at all, kind of like what we're
We
doing
just
right here,
right.
and where I've never met them. I know nothing about them. I
Mhm.
mean, somebody where maybe I don't even know who they are to you,
Mhm.
and just have me describe them. Like, I'll know the birth information. So I'll know, like, oh, are they born in the US versus someplace else? I'll know, like, how old they are,
Right.
but I won't know anything else about them. And to just describe who they are and see how accurate it is.
Okay.
Or like, give me your chart and I'll look at the transits and see if that's what's actually going on. Or like, I can look at your girlfriend's transits and tell you, oh, is this going on in her life? Is that going on?
Mhm.
That sort of thing. So
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
say, give me an example
Mhm.
where there's no other way I could have known it, and then have me look at it
Yeah. That's
and see if
kind
the
of
data
like
is accurate.
yeah, it's almost like doing a blind study. So when you have someone who likes to take advantage of people or the practice of it, do you, I mean, let's put it this way. Have you ever talked to another astrologer and had them do confirmation bias? Like what just to give the person what they want. Have you ever ran into somebody that does that? Because I mean, or better yet, if you did, what would you say to them to correct their course?
I'm sure there are
Hmm.
astrologers out there who, and like people who are more into like the mystical, spiritual, woo woo type of stuff,
Hmm.
where they just say what they think you want to hear. But like, I don't tend to interact with those people. Uh, so I think there's multiple ends of the spectrum. There's also people who tend to be all gloom and doom. I believe both with astrology and in life in general, there's
Hmm.
always a way to go higher and there's always a way to make the best out of whatever circumstance you're in, even if it's just going, okay, here's what life is trying to teach me and let me learn this lesson. So I never have to go through this again. But there's always some way to get to a positive, even if it's just a silver lining. So there's also like, I don't wanna just say negative either.
Well, of course, right. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think people when they go to do this kind of thing, they're looking for an answer to something, right? And it's a void in their life or whatever that has been that there and it needs to be filled and they're looking for some it doesn't always have to be religion, doesn't always have to be something like that. It's just people are looking for answers as to what is going on in their life and I can dig it. It doesn't necessarily resonate too much with me because I'm old and stubborn, but you can't look at life through a singular lens. You have to look at it through from different points of view. And I think that, you know, I can tell like I said before, you're very passionate about it. You enjoy what you do. And when people have passion about something, it doesn't make a difference what anybody else believes.
I think that, like, that there are many different ways to get to the same truth,
Exactly.
and that doing a psychological deep dive, you can
Mhm.
also figure out different things about your personality, and talking with a therapist or coach, figuring out what direction is best for you to go, and when you look at what's going on with you astrologically now or at some point in the future where you have something important coming up, it can give you hints of where you might go and different ways where you can like go higher and lower, like we were talking earlier.
Mhm.
But there are many different ways to get to the same place.
Correct.
So yeah, I think I do believe in multiple truths, and I think that whether you believe in it or not,
Mhm.
it will remain accurate,
Right.
but it's also like, I know I have been interpreting data for many, many, many years and actually made a whole career out of it in advanced analytics. And as we talked about, like not on this episode, but that same data analysis can be applied to astrology as well.
Do you think that there could be a link, like if there was a practice, let's just say you had someone who was seeking therapy, right? Now, do you think that combining, let's say, psychology and astrology, would that be beneficial, or would they be counterintuitive to each other? What do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I think would totally be beneficial. Now, I'm not saying
Hmm.
go see an astrologer instead of a therapist. Never,
Of course,
ever. If
right? Yeah,
there's
no,
something like a mental health condition, then that needs a trained therapist.
of course, right?
But a lot of the times when I'm working with an astrology client, a little bit, I was a psych major in
Hmm.
college, and that training definitely comes up
Hmm.
in the sessions that I've had that are astrology sessions.
Okay.
So, like being able to really listen and hear the way a therapist should be able to, and being able to help people get to where they want to go in their lives. Like those skills that you're taught in a counseling psychology type of course also really apply to certain types of astrology sessions. And actually, NCGR, which is an astrology associations, it gives certifications. And there are programs that like give you certifications in astrology. One of the courses is astrology and counseling. So teaching people those skills if they haven't already taken it from a like college or university.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just thought, is there a way to maybe like combine them, and maybe it could be beneficial to the person? And I think sometimes the more you can add to certain things can make it more beneficial. So it was just a question that popped
Totally.
in my head. Yeah. So if somebody wanted to book a session with you, where would they find you?
So they'd find me on all the socials.
Hmm.
Well, I said the Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn and Facebook, I'm Mara D. Kaufman. On Instagram, I am Mara with the long red hair. I'm still in the process of making my website. So just those three for now. And also, they could email me at Mara D. Kaufman at Gmail.
So, but I wanted to say thanks for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on and explaining it to me a little bit, and I can have a better understanding. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, the show on Spotify, and YouTube.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.